Minecraft has the biggest modding scene of any game in the world. With some mods gaining more downloads than most AAA games, it's surprising just how few have been forcibly taken down and removed from the internet, whether that be by Mojang, another large company, or by players themselves. Today we'll talk about a small handful of Minecraft mods which were banned and taken down, some extremely popular and revolutionary yet hiding malicious functions in their code, and some containing illegal content only distributed on small forums and shady corners of the internet. Minecraft's small selection of banned mods are very interesting but also very unknown and not what you may expect. Pixelmon is one of Minecraft's most famous mods, boasting over 35 million downloads on CurseForge and likely tens of millions of more across other platforms. But despite how well known the mod is, its highly controversial and shady history is not. But first, this video is sponsored by RedMagic. If you've ever wanted to game on the go or just casually on your lounge, you'll know how annoying phones and laptops are. The screen is too small, the laptop is too clunky, it's a very unpleasant experience. Luckily though, RedMagic has just released their new Nova gaming tablet, a 10.9-inch gaming beast that is thin, lightweight, and very comfortable. The tablet is great for Minecraft. Here I am playing Bedrock Edition, and I'm getting a very consistent 144 FPS. The tablet is outperforming most run-of-the-mill laptops here. And even better, if we download Pojav Launcher and play Minecraft Java, you can see my performance is also really good. I even tested it on my Minecraft server at our Civilization faction spawn, which is very dense and has lots of lag creating entities and mobs, and the performance is still very solid. The gameplay in general is also really smooth because the tablet supports up to a 144Hz refresh rate, the same as my $500 PC monitor and more than most other handheld devices on the market. With such great game performance, you'd think that the tablet would get really hot and uncomfortable to use after a while, right? However, the Nova gaming tablet has an inbuilt RGB fan and cooling system, ensuring the tablet never overheats, while also being fun to customize. And speaking of customization, we can enter the game space here and modify a variety of game-specific settings for each individual game, increasing performance and even also allowing you to install game-specific mods and plugins. Let's not forget this virtual anime girl assistant thing which you can keep on your screen as long as you want. Let's get rid of that for now though. With up to 512GB of storage, 16GB of RAM, and a whopping 10,100 mAh battery size, you have no problems playing any games you want for hours with a silky smooth 144 frames per second. Be sure to use my link in the description below to check out the RedMagic Nova gaming tablet right now. If you've gone to download Pixelmon before, you may have noticed something. The first website which comes up is called Reforged, which is actually what the mod is known as too. And that's because the Pixelmon mod that is popular and famous today is technically not the original. In 2012, the Pixelmon mod would first release, and due to the evergreen popularity of Pokemon, quickly gained a lot of attention. Not long after release, a variety of YouTube videos about the mod would be made, some getting millions of views, and the mod would gain widespread notoriety. One thing Pixelmon achieved, which many of Minecraft's largest mods never do, was becoming not only popular as a single-player mod, but also as a server mod. Due to the fact that joining a modded Minecraft server requires you to download mods prior to connecting, many Minecraft servers opt to use plugins instead, which are more limited than mods but generally see more success as there is no requirement to download files prior to playing, which turns a lot of players away. Despite that, Pixelmon modded Minecraft servers became very common and still are to this day, only further boosting the mod's popularity. But this is where the mod would first get into some controversy. In March of 2013, a post was made to the Minecraft and Feed the Beast subreddits warning players to not use the Pixelmon mod as it had disguised code in it that allowed the Pixelmon devs to remotely shut down servers and blacklist them, as well as banning specific players from playing on such servers. Basically, the Pixelmon devs could remotely choose which servers could run their mod or not, and which players could play servers with their mod or not, and if they didn't like these servers they could remotely shut them down or ban players upon connecting. Understandably, this is a huge overreach and breach of trust, and many players were very upset about it, despite the Pixelmon team claiming it was done to protect servers from serial abusers. Mojang devs even came out mentioning that what they were doing was not okay, and put some serious pressure on the Pixelmon devs to remove it. With all the pressure and backlash from the Minecraft community, the Pixelmon team mentioned they would be removing the code and releasing a new version of the mod. However, only a few days later, they would DMCA a YouTube video discussing the situation by a channel called Game Chaps, getting it taken down supposedly for showing an excerpt of malicious code. This would only lead to more drama and backlash, but eventually the malicious code was removed and things returned to normal. That being said, this is Pokemon, and Pokemon is owned by Nintendo, who are well known for their track record of shutting down everything and anything using their branding or products. Pixelmon wasn't a mod adding Pokemon inspired mobs, it was a mod adding Pokemon to Minecraft, and as such in 2017, the Pixelmon team received a cease and desist request from Nintendo, and after they would announce they were discontinuing development and shutting their project down, pulling the website and all downloads. And thus, that was the end of the original Pixelmon mod. However, only a few months later, a new mod called Pixelmon Reforged would release. Supposedly, a handful of individuals, including some of the original developers, decompiled the original Pixelmon mod so they could continue it unofficially. Additionally, another version of Pixelmon called Pixelmon Generations was also created using the same process by a different group of people, and there was a lot of drama between the Reforged and Generation developers, but it seems Generations is no longer being developed and never gained as much popularity, and that entire controversy is a thing of the past. The Minecraft physics mod is a mod which you've probably seen without even realizing. It does as advertised, adding a variety of realistic physics to Minecraft, including realistic water and ocean physics, smoke physics, liquid physics, mob physics, and much more. The mod is really well done, and in terms of detail and content, is one of a kind. Due to the mod's seriously impressive recreations of physics in Minecraft, a variety of YouTube videos have been made about it, some going very viral, helping it gain a lot of popularity. Now, while the physics mod was free, there was also a paid version of the mod called the Pro version, which included some additional content. The way to purchase the mod was not through a shop, but rather through subscribing to the mod creator's Patreon. To explain, it is technically against Minecraft's EULA to sell mods. Here in the EULA it states, any mods you create for Minecraft from scratch belong to you, and you can do whatever you want with them, as long as you don't sell them for money or try to make money from them. Patreon is sort of a grey area in that regard, as technically you aren't selling the mod or using it to directly make money, but rather you are giving it to your patrons as a reward for them giving money to you. And plenty of mods have been locked behind Patreon paywalls in the past without Mojang taking any issue, some causing controversies of their own. But in April of last year, the physics mod developer would make a post to Patreon and Discord mentioning that Mojang had DMCA'd the pro version of the mod, thus getting it taken down. Additionally, the dev's Patreon was also taken down as well, cutting off his source of income entirely. Obviously, many players in the community were not happy about this, especially so because the dev mentioned that development would stop if the Patreon doesn't come back online, as he relied on it for his full-time income. Fortunately, the dev was able to get his Patreon page back, with the pro version of the mod now free, as per Mojang's request. To date, the mod still remains freely available, despite the fact that there are many other mods out there locked behind Patreon paywalls entirely, with no free alternative. It's quite interesting how Mojang decided to selectively enforce their mod EULA here, as they have never really done it anywhere else. One of the most important Minecraft mods is not a mod in a traditional sense, but rather a modified version of the Minecraft server known as Paper. Paper is like Minecraft Forge or Fabric, but for servers. It allows you to install server-side mods known as plugins, but more importantly, allows you significantly more control over the server and its various settings, making Minecraft multiplayer so much more optimized. Without Paper, Minecraft servers as we know it would cease to exist. It is essential, and almost every public Minecraft server uses it or versions of it. Just like how without you subscribers, my channel would cease to exist. Make sure to subscribe, we're trying to reach 750k subs by the end of the year, no pressure of course. Anyways, did you know that before Paper existed, there was actually another modified server software known as Spigot? In fact, Paper is actually a fork or specialized version of Spigot. Spigot did much of the same, simply not as advanced as Paper, although existing much earlier, and plugins which work with Spigot do work with Paper too. Spigot was revolutionary for Minecraft servers, as its developers alongside it created a groundbreaking thing known as bungee cord, a method of connecting multiple servers together, allowing for larger servers to host multiple game modes, worlds and more. It's basically how Hypixel and every server nowadays works, where you go from a hub to a Bed Wars lobby or survival server, for example. Both Spigot and Paper completely changed the world of Minecraft multiplayer, and nothing you see today would have been possible without them both. But much lesser known and mostly forgotten is the original modified Minecraft server software software that both Spigot and therefore to an extent Paper were based on, and that's a little thing called Bukkit. In December of 2010, a new project called Bukkit was released. Promising to be a server mod that would completely change how running and modifying a server was done, it looked very promising. At the time in 2010, the only way to run mods or plugins on servers was through another modified server known as HMod, which did not have performance in mind, doing the opposite for server performance as a matter of fact. And with the growing size of Minecraft servers, Bukkit, which was designed with optimization as a key component, was attempting to solve that. Bukkit would release, and since it was open source, many other developers would flock to it to contribute, helping it continue to improve. Eventually, from 2011 to 2014, every Minecraft server was either running Bukkit or vanilla. Bukkit had taken over and shaped the early versions of modified Minecraft servers we still see today. Here's the thing though, Bukkit used Minecraft's game code, which is a big no-no and is something strictly prohibited these days. Back then the rules weren't as regularly enforced or outlined though. Bukkit's rapid popularity in the Minecraft community got the attention of Minecraft devs, and at Minecon 2011, some of the lead Bukkit devs had a meeting with Mojang, to which Mojang said they liked what they were doing, but not so much how they had done it, primarily referring to the Minecraft code being used in Bukkit's jar. This meeting also resulted in 4 of Bukkit's lead developers being hired by Mojang to work on Minecraft, with all but one leaving Bukkit at the same time. Things would continue to go smoothly for a few years until 2014, where Mojang's EULA changes prohibiting servers from virtually selling any goods were first instituted. This led to some serious drama in the community, as while yes, servers would now be more balanced for non-paying players, this EULA change was much too overreaching and virtually killed every server's revenue, leading to them no longer being able to afford to stay online. Notch and Mojang received so much backlash that this would somewhat lead to the game's sale to Microsoft. Overall, the community hated these changes, and rightfully so. Likely in protest to the changes, in mid-2014, the lead developer of Bukkit at the time, Warren Liu or Evil Seth, would tweet that Bukkit's development would be ending. However, only an hour later, Jeb would tweet this bombshell in response. Warren over at Bukkit seems to have forgotten that the project was bought by Mojang over 2 years ago and isn't his to discontinue. 2 former Bukkit devs, now Mojang employees I'm sure you recognize, also stated that Bukkit development would continue, and Mojang did in fact own it. This was shocking. How could an open source project, which dozens of developers freely contributed to, actually be owned by Mojang themselves? Well, as it turns out, the Bukkit devs hired by Mojang back in 2011 had given up their personal copyright and rights to their open source code contributions as part of their employment contracts. And at the same time, a decision to keep this private was made by Mojang and the devs. For 3 years, many of Bukkit's higher-up staff and contributors who worked for free due to passion for the project and the Minecraft multiplayer community did not know that what they were working on was actually owned by Mojang themselves. They had effectively been doing free labor for a multi-million-dollar company who, mind you, beyond allowing some of Minecraft's code to be used, was not doing anything in return to support it. Many Bukkit staff and contributors resigned following this revelation, but some took it to another level. Another lead developer who contributed over 15,000 lines of code to Bukkit but was not hired by Mojang decided to DMCA take down all of his contributions to the project. A Bukkit developer DMCA'd Mojang basically, and he was legally well within his right to. The amount of code this dev had contributed meant that overnight, Bukkit went offline. It was non-functional without this code. Bukkit, a project which for 3 years was the backbone of Minecraft servers and was used significantly more than Mojang's own vanilla server software, had just been taken down by one of its lead developers. People obviously were not happy. This sent the community into panic, with many server owners and players unsure of what to do. Spigot, another fork of Bukkit created 2 years prior in 2012, also was hit by the DMCA, but they worked out a clever workaround allowing them to continue development. Spigot eventually took over, leading to the multiplayer environment we have today. To date, Bukkit is still not available for download officially. Quite an interesting story about one of Minecraft's most important and essential mods, which rather than being taken down by Mojang, was actually secretly owned by Mojang and then taken down by one of its main contributors. How ironic. So far in this video, we've yet to see Mojang take down a mod for its content, but they have in fact done that a handful of times in the past. A mod known as UT's Kidnap mod was taken down by Mojang early last year. Now, there is very little information about this online, but from what I gathered, the mod allowed you to, well, kidnap players. It added a variety of kidnap tools like knives, gags, and specific clothes, allowed you to lock players in cells, and even added NPCs you could kidnap as well as kidnap you. As you can see from this one video I could find online about it, where the player player gets kidnapped, I guess some of the dialogue used isn't exactly family friendly, but I think the real reason the mod was blacklisted was because people were using the mod for slightly different reasons. As you can see from the specifically designed NPCs and some of the mod's features which you can perform when players are tied up, this mod clearly dips into a bit of an 18+ realm. This stuff is pretty funny though. Anywho, rather unsurprisingly, as I discovered on a forum called Lovers Lab, a forum for game mods of a rather mature kind, a lot of the people using this mod were using it on 18+ servers to do, well, I'll leave that up to your imagination. The mod creator would be forced to take down the mod at Mojang's request, with them supposedly not wanting this kind of mod to be in Minecraft. They even supposedly threatened to blacklist or potentially did blacklist any servers found using the mod as well, to the displeasure of some of this forum's users. Now, after coming across this, I discovered there is a small but active rabbit hole of Minecraft 18+ mods, of which Mojang is not always pleased with. Around the same time the Kidnap mod was taken down, another 18+ mod which did exactly as advertised by a player named ShnurryTV, of which I can't show you for obvious reasons, was also DMCA'd by Mojang. Connoisseurs of this mod stated that supposedly the government was harassing the dev over the mod, as well as its own personal website, but it seems players did archive it. A similar story happened to the Jenny mod, a mod which I'm sure many of you already heard of, which was also forcibly taken down by Mojang last year for 18+ content. Now, like I said, it's hard to find information about these 18+ mods, and I also can't exactly show you them, but from some of the comments in these forum threads, it seemed that quite a lot of them were taken down by Mojang in early 2023. It's as if Mojang went on a DMCA and takedown spree all at once. The time of these takedowns also coincides with a few other interesting Mojang behaviors, such as when they manually banned a variety of Minecraft players from the griefing group Fifth Column for 10 years, and even the DMCA of the physics mod we talked about earlier. But after this period, it seems Mojang hasn't taken any action against 18+ mods, paid mods, or just mods they deem unsuitable for Minecraft in general. So who knows what happened and why they decided to take action and then stop not long after. Check out the new RedMagic Nova Gaming tablet with my link below. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching.